Hello, greetings from winter Germany in January here in my garage. And I've come here not to start another ride video. There's too much work to do at this point. So all I can do for you now is to give you a quick walk around of a new to me Velomobile. Not this one there in the back, but this one right here. I still find the DF is one of the best looking Velomobiles, but I have to admit that the M9 is also attractive to the eye. So before we look at the internal specs, let's take a look around. And this is it from the side. You see here, we will get back to that in a moment. And I think what is very indicative is the shape. This very slim, thin tail, and the fact that the Velomobile remains very wide for a rather long time. Okay, see here? Don't worry about that little black strip there. My transportation setup in the trailer was not quite right, so I lost a little bit of paint there. Okay, so that's the outside. Now let's look at some of the details. First thing here is the air intake. The mast is now a 50 millimeter one, which also makes the air intake larger. And above it, you see the super bright Lupina, I think SLAX. I think one of the best lights on the market. It's like a car, you won't need anything else. Now, contrary to the DF, which has a hatch opening that is bolted on, this just comes off like this. Let's keep it off for a moment. And since this is a model with closed wheel wells, I think this is super smart, that you can access the axle bolt through those magnetic openings, and they sit in place very well. And of course, the same continues over here. The rear derailleur hatch, see there? This is the access there, rather large, so you can easily access all of the elements of the shifting. Okay, let's put that back on. All right, in the back, you see now air outlet openings. And since there are openings there, it is very easy to mount some accessories. Here, the Garmin Varia radar rear light, which alerts me very well to traffic from the rear. Okay, so much for this. You see the indicator lights and rear lights here, Kellerman. Interesting, the mirrors are glued here in the cockpit room. Amazing how good you can see with them, which I think has to do with the construction of the aft section of the M9. And of course, this is a neat little feature to house the Garmin. Looking at both the DF and the M9 side by side, you can see that the M9 is quite a different animal. It is substantially wider. It looks much bigger. It has a rather big frontal area and is very wide by the shoulders. If you take a look here and compare that to the more tear-shaped, more evenly shaped body of the DF. See, also the hump is designed in a slightly different way. It is, I think it is bigger, it is wider on the DF than on the M9. And instead of the hook, the tow hook here, there is a hole, like a number of other Velomobiles. I think the Alfa has that, the Milan has that. Okay, so what else is new? I think there's a whole lot, at least a couple of things that are new to me. First one is tank steering. You see the two steering bars here, and I have a special feature. This has also brake lights on the left. Usually tank steering here doesn't have the same kind of brake light options that the tiller steering models offer. I have indicator lights here. I have my headlight switches from a high beam to standard to daylight, daytime riding light. Here on the other side, you'll see the shifters. This is a single chain wheel model, a 60-tooth chainring up front, and an 1152 rotor cassette on the rear. You see that the seat is designed in quite a different way. Let me put the camera in here to show you this. I think you can see that the rear section is much narrower than on a standard model, a tiller steer model. The reason being is, on a tiller steer, you sit with a fairly round back with your arms reaching forward. On a tank steering model, you sit more with your shoulders back, and the arms are to the side. So you don't want to press your shoulders into the seat, particularly not your shoulder bones. So the seat is designed in a more narrow way for a purpose here. Also, the seat mount construction is quite different. Let me try to show you this. It looks a bit strange when you first see it. That's it. You see, you need both hands to do this, but then you just take it out, and this is the seat. I have to say, so far, has proven to be very comfortable. And the way to put it back in is you start with the rear, and then it folds into its proper place up here, down here in front. Okay, I got it back in. So now you see that the bridge here is now one integral part which belongs to the basic construction and is connected with the wheel wells. Very different design from previous models. You can see in the middle that you can still mount a tiller steer there. Looking at the front end, the machine room, so to speak, you see here an addition, which is the bug box by Sven, Velomobile Nord. He does that, very useful in the summer when the wasps try to enter the Velomobile. Now what you see here is the 50 millimeter mast with the single chain wheel here, 155 cranks, and to the left and right, hope you can see that. You see here luggage boxes, very spacious. You see, put my hand in, very spacious and pretty deep luggage boxes, very comfortable. One of the features of the M9, similar to the still bigger A9, is that it stores an enormous amount of luggage. Now, one of the reasons why I never wanted tank steering is that this real estate here to the left and right of the rider is so precious. But you see, this is so wide here to the right side of the, I'm on the right side of the right steering bar. You see, here's the bag with all of my tools and spares, the standard Velomobile bag that I've used on the Quest and the DF. On the DF, it would not fit here because the DF is so narrow. But here it fits even to the left of the steering bar. Now see, because there's a very minimal movement of the steering bar, it's actually, you can put all your stuff there to the left and right, and you see what space is left there. And of course, when you look into the rear section, I mean, it's like a big dark hole. So it's a huge luggage compartment. On the other side, you have a swing arm cover, which came later. The first models didn't have it, but this is, I think, this is number 46, so this has it. But what you don't have is the luggage board that the DF has in this place, so that you can put luggage up there, and you can also fill the hump with luggage because it cannot fall over on that side and interfere with the chain. See here, this is how it looks with the DF. So you see, you can store things here, and they cannot fall onto the chain and the cassette, which is a good thing. So now I got some light so that you can take a look inside the rear section here, and also the rear section. So here's the same with the DF, and I put my luggage bag here. You see that it barely fits in here because it pushes against the seat. There's much less space between the seat and the wall, and much more in the M9. Oh, the bag is already there. Okay, well, this is my other Velomobile bag. So usually in the DF, that goes behind the seat. So what else is new with the M9? Now, one of the new things, of course, is the hood. This is the DF hood, and you see the DF with the classic cockpit rim here has a hood that is designed to fit right on that rim. The hood has this air sort of cave, or it's, I don't know how would you call that. It sort of forces the air down and up again against the screen from the inside, helps defogging. And I will show you that the M9 hood takes this technique here one step further. Also, I want to show you the two side windows, one with plexiglass, and the other one is an open one for ventilation. Now, the M9 hood, you see here, first of all, you see that the hood needs to have its own pair of mirrors because the mirrors are glued to the inside. You see, the M9 does not have a rim like the DF has, so the hood has no sort of fixed position, but is located in the middle. There's an indicator arrow, so in the inside, so that you can see that you're centered it. Look at this trench here, which is even more shielding the wet air on a rainy day, and also pushing the air down here and up against the windscreen. And it's said to be very effective. I have not tested it yet, have not had the chance to test it yet, but it's said to be very effective in cold weather. And of course, aerodynamics are optimal even with the hood slightly open to allow for air to come in. On the side, both windows are open. So they will not fog up because there's nothing that they could fog up to. But in order to prevent rain from coming in, see this? They are designed in such a way, it's like an eyebrow, that prevents water from coming to the inside, running down from the hood to the inside. There still will be a few drops, but very little. The A9 has the same hood, and riders have told me that it's extremely effective. Now, let's have one more look at the M9 with the lights on. To get to the light switch, I have to turn off the general lights here. And that's it. That should be it. Okay. You see here the Kellerman lights from behind. Pretty good visibility, I'd say. And this is an extremely bright light up front. It's also positioned higher, about 8 to 10 centimeters higher than on the DF, I'd say. See, battery storage is here, and the switches are right above. I'm switching off the light. Now I'm switching off the entire electrical supply of the Velomobile. All right, folks, that's all for today. I hope you found that little walk around interesting. I'd love to give you a riding report with pictures from the road at some point later when I can find the time to do it.